But the big question this week about work or a shoot, fake or real, came in the build-up to Logan Paul, the YouTuber, Implausible, I believe is the podcast, and Floyd Mayweather, the big publicity. And I got to tell you something. You know, I always respected. That's why I love Conor McGregor. He was just working his whole way to this Floyd Mayweather fight. Everything he does, it's just great. I love it all. I love these Paul brothers. I think they're great. I think they're geniuses. I think they always got something in their back pocket. It's just it might as well be a traveling family circus. It's amazing. They just are better than anybody on the scene right now at getting the world to talk about them. You know, some people don't want to be that person. You know, some people don't want everybody to just be sitting there. That's not the Pauls. The Pauls' business is getting people doing this, getting people talking. Like, a lot of people, I think, don't really get that Logan and Jake Paul, the Paul brothers, the whole business model behind the Paul brothers is to get people to either love them or hate them. Either one is completely fine. And if it's more hate than love, totally fine. The only enemy to the Paul brothers is indifference. And I find so few people that people are less indifferent to than Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I mean, people either love them or people hate them. People have feelings about them. I mean, Hot Dog, I'm sure you have feelings about the Paul brothers.
I love them. I love their work.
They're great.
Exactly for the same reason you just mentioned. They rile everybody up. No one realizes that it's a total work.
They're geniuses. They are literal geniuses. Like, they have entire industries mad at them. You understand? Like, Logan Paul. No, Jake Paul. Who is the Triller boxer? Jake Paul?
Jake Paul, I believe, yeah.
Jake Paul has literally the entire professional fight industry mad at him. Every fighter in the world is like, this guy's a clown, this guy's a joke, and he's going, so you've heard of me. And that's it. That's the whole game. You know, we get to a point where even real, like, combat sports fans who can't stand the mockery of their sport that the Paul brothers are creating, they want to see these guys get their asses kicked. Boom. That's the money.
And they got athletes lining up to fight them.
Yeah, because they want to shut them up. Or because they realize, you know, with the athletes, though, know the deal, I think. The athletes are smart to it. Like, Conor McGregor is talking about this week. That's because I think Conor McGregor has finally realized, and mark my words, Hot Dog, Conor McGregor has finally realized that we are going to see one of the Paul brothers fight Conor McGregor. It's going to happen.
I mean, we're seeing one of the Paul brothers fight Floyd Mayweather. Of course we're going to see Conor McGregor step into it.
Yeah. And I don't know, and there's probably
I don't know how they managed to do that. I have no idea how they managed to get the greatest fucking boxer to agree to this carny event.
Because, I mean, Floyd Mayweather's a carny, too. Floyd Mayweather is he's the greatest boxer of all time. He doesn't even knock people out. I mean, you know, he decided that the Conor McGregor fight could go 6 or 7 rounds or however long it went. Like, he just makes these choices when he's in there, and then he's like, okay, that's enough of this. Like, I wonder how many rounds Floyd Mayweather will decide that Jake Paul or Logan Paul gets to go. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I don't know which Paul brother it'll be that actually fights Conor McGregor. Because I can see Jake Paul's path, which is he's going to keep doing these Triller fights. People are going to keep buying the pay-per-views. You know, who in their right mind? There's a boxing fight. Who's Canelo and Saunders is fighting. That's a boxing pay-per-view this weekend. Are you watching that, Hot Dog?
No. Who?
June 6th. Are you getting the pay-per-view? Are you getting Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather?
I already talked about it with my friends. Yeah, of course we're doing that.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. What kind of herb is not doing that, especially because you're about to get a $150,000 lawsuit from Triller if you're bootlegging. Everybody's getting those lawsuits from Triller. Triller's like, look, we're going to sue all of you. They're getting Ethan from H3H3 is getting sued. Everybody's getting sued. And Triller goes, look, We know a lot of you enjoyed the pay-per-view for free on your bootleg streams. We got all your IP addresses, every single one of them. Mike Lindell gave them to us. He gave us all the evidence. We got all of them. So here's the choice. Either you send us $50 now, we'll give you 30 days to send us $50, or you're all getting sued for $150,000 a piece. That's up to you.
Do you realize the U.S. economy would just crumble if they sued the millions of people who watched that fight for $150,000?
Well, they're not suing me. I paid for it. I watched it legally.
Did you?
I watched it. No, I watched it legally.
Okay.
Got that coupon code, but I watched it legally.
Okay.
I'm an influencer, hot dog. I don't know if anybody told you. Influencers. How about that? How did I get a hookup, but H3 didn't get a hookup, right? I mean, that's making me feel pretty good. I like hearing about these famous people that had to get bootleg streams of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're going to see all of us lined up in front of the courtroom.
You're not sending them the $50 check?
Nah, I'll wait for them to come to me.
How great would that be? 2020 was the year of the stimmy, and it was like $1,400. And 2021, everybody that got a stimmy now has to is in debt to Triller for $150,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Because the judge is just in one fell swoop. He's like, I mean, I guess they're all guilty. Yeah, they all owe you $150,000 a piece. It's going to be a bummer. It's going to be a huge bummer.
I love when all these companies try to go after the illegal streams. There's one of my favorite Dana White moments recently was he was doing a press conference, and then one of the reporters was like, so what are you going to do about all the streams this weekend? And then he goes like, I want to let you know, the guy who is streaming this fight illegally, we got him.
We got him. He's ours. Okay, we got the IP. Yeah.
No idea how things work.
So even more so now, because you don't want to get hit with those $150,000 lawsuits, everybody's going to be buying this pay-per-view. Everybody's going to be buying it. So this week, they're doing a press conference. Floyd Mayweather, who, by the way, full head of hair on this guy. I don't know how it happened. Full head of hair on Floyd Mayweather.
And it's his hair. That's not a hair transplant or anything.
What are you, his doctor?
Well, no, because when he was in jail and he came out, he did have had the same thing going on.
He had that same hairline. Okay, well then you've done your research. I'll take your word for it. That sounds well researched to me. So he's doing a press conference, him and Logan Paul, and I guess Jake Paul is there chilling. And Jake Paul confronted Floyd Mayweather. This clip was kind of everywhere this week.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Hammond.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Floyd has said he is willing to fight both of the Paul brothers on the same night. He won't do handicap.
Right.
He won't do handicap match, but he will. He hasn't said he'll fight them both at the same time. He said both in the same night. So it's he'll do a Paul brothers gauntlet match, but not a handicap, which is still
how much of a bigger buy rate if he went full carny and did a 1-on-2 handicap match?
Be awesome. And then you'd be like, is it tag rules? And he's like, no, it's tornado tag. And you're like, oh shit. Okay. You're like, you can't just have a good defense in there then, Floyd. You're gonna have to be throwing. Imagine that, but imagine the legend of Floyd Mayweather, even if it's two J-Brones. Like, imagine watching a guy knock out two YouTubers in the first round. But see, this
amazing.
But they
would first ever 2-on-1 handicap boxing match.
It'd be awesome. I'd be there for it. Boxing needs more of this stuff. But I don't think
Thriller's already WWE with like kind of a shoot. You might as well, go full ham.
I mean, it's basically Raw Underground, right? That's what Triller is. Yeah, it's like Raw Underground. It's Brawl for All. But yeah, so I don't think that Jake Paul will get involved in all that though, because I think Jake Paul's got a nice trajectory building with Triller. That's the road to the Conor McGregor fight. He's got there are rumors that Nate Diaz might be the next guy or somebody like that. Like, there's going to be another MMA guy that steps in there. And then maybe after 2 to 3 more fights, I'll bet they'll build up enough cash that they can get Conor McGregor involved. But yeah, so here's what happened.
It's building him up like Goldberg.
Exactly. They're building up the streak. Except Goldberg was babyface. And Jake Paul.
I think Jake Paul tries to be. He tries to be a babyface. Logan tries to be. The other one tries to be a heel. Jake is more like, my friend passed away 2 weeks ago, and like.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I know you say that, But like he's like, oh, I'm dedicating this to my bodyguard who passed away 2 weeks ago, and he's getting emotional. Meanwhile, in the background, it's a big robot going like, so it's like I don't know if I can judge the sincerity of all that.
Yeah.
You know, but so here's the confrontation between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Hammond.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't need Al Hammond.
Let me call Al Hammond.
I'm my
Let's
own
make it
boss.
happen.
I'm my own
2 in
boss.
1 night. Got your hat. Got your hat.
Got your hat. Dude, do you know that there are gotcha hat hats being sold right now on Jake Paul's website?
Oh, really?
He's got gotcha hat hats. Like a hat that says gotcha hat on it. I mean, it's so like it's so third grade gotcha hat. Like
and it works. It's so effective because it really is. It turns you hot.
Of course it gets
really
you hot.
gets you up.
And imagine if like look, Floyd Mayweather is not like this amazing multifaceted talent. He's just one of the greatest boxers to ever live. And you don't have to be a multifaceted talent when you're that good at one thing. But when you're one of the greatest boxers that has ever lived, and some guy is just like, got your hat. Like, that hurts even worse. You're supposed to respect that guy. I guess Jake Paul ended up with like a black eye after it. Somebody took a swing at him. You can see the security are all getting him.
He didn't even take 2 steps.
No, but he did get the hat. He did. He wasn't lying when he said got your hat. Like right here, it's kind of hard to see, but in his arms over there, he's got the hat. He got Mayweather's hat. And look, regardless, it doesn't really matter. You could have a black eye. You could be thrown on the ground. You could have terrible things happening to you. But if you're sitting there and you're face to face with one of the greatest boxers of all time, 50-0, and you look at him and you go, bro, I took the hat right off your head. Like, what's he going to say? What can you say? You know? Well,
so embarrassing.
Well, he's like, well, what? I took the hat off your head. And he shows up. He's got a got your hat on. He got a tattoo. Did you see his tattoo? He got a tattoo, I think, on the leg. I'm not exactly sure where it is. And again, the tattoo could be a work too. I don't think it is though, because like you can see why I don't think it's a fake tattoo is because there's lots of bad tattoos there. So who cares about another bad tattoo? But it's a picture, it's a tattoo of a hat. And on top of it, it says, gotcha hat. Which, like, honestly.
That's awesome.
And he's got these big, obnoxious, like, wrestling heel sunglasses on. He's got his hot dog shades on while he's eating a sandwich and getting his gotcha hat tattoo. Look, man. If I took Floyd Mayweather's hat off his head and said, gotcha hat, and ran away, even if it was only 2 steps, I would probably get that tattooed on my chest. Like,
even if you got an ass whooping.
Who cares? Who cares? Like, nobody, like, that's part of the longer story. But ultimately, the video clip is just like you taking his hat. You know, and really, realistically, even if you got your ass whooped, it actually makes the story funnier. Yeah, they whipped my ass. You're like, ha, 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 let's all have a good laugh. Yeah, you should get that tattooed on you. It's a great idea.
It's like pulling someone's pants down. It's just...
You know what it's one step away from? If, like, Logan had been on all fours behind Floyd and Jake pushed him and he fell over. Yeah. And he fell over Logan. It's school bully tricks. But think about 3rd grade. You're on the playground in 3rd grade and somebody's like, got your hat? And people see that happen? There's no saving face after that. Like, you'll be lucky if it's gone by middle school. That is something that, like, you'll have to deal with all school year, and then summer vacation will come, and you'll be like, finally, it's summer vacation, 3 months long. Everybody will forget about it, and you'll go start 4th grade. Now it's time for 4th grade, and you go to school, first day of school. So you know what somebody's going to do? Don't lose your hat. Oh, you remember. Oh, you remember. It's not going away.
Floyd's lucky he had a fresh cut. Because if he had anything bad going on under that hat, it would have been way worse.
How funny would it have been if his hairline came off with his hat?
Yeah. That would have been great.
Yeah. Logan, though, Logan Paul, who's actually the one fighting Floyd Mayweather, seemed like he had nothing to do with this. He couldn't believe it. Listen to this.
You've talked to your brother since. That was real, right?
Bro, I just did an interview where they asked me this. I fucking wish that wasn't real. I wish that wasn't staged. That shit is not funny. It's not fun for anyone.
Okay. I don't know what Logan Paul is talking about here. When he's like, I wish that was fake. First of all, everybody involved, to what degree it's a work, that would be the only conversation to have. Everybody that's involved understands how to promote, right? Like, there's only...
It's like, I feel like it's like improv. Like, you go to the show. It's
Exactly.
like, whose line's it anyway? You don't know exactly what kind of line is going to come up. But, you know, we're going to work. We're going to do a little show here.
Right. It's Floyd Mayweather is like, you know, that tall, skinny guy. What's his name? Ryan Stiles or something like that. The tall, skinny guy. You know what I'm talking about. And in this case, I would say Jake Paul is probably Wayne Brady. And, you know, because he's the king. He's the king. There's nobody's beating him. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's aware of the game that we're playing. But, like, I don't know what Logan Paul's gimmick is here for him to be like, no, I wish that was fake. There were lines crossed here today. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Your brother just stole your opponent's hat. Like, what lines were possibly crossed?
You can't do that. It's the biggest form of disrespect that there is.
Yeah. But then the more he talks, it sounds like he thinks that the real problem is that his brother was punched. But I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? He stole a man's hat.
Those them's fighting actions.
There's nothing more you could do. You could say them's fighting words, Hot Dog. I know you were struggling for the term. You could say them. You know what fighting words are?
Got your hat.
That's it. That's it. Those are the words. And he's got that tattooed on his body now forever. That's disrespect. Every time you see Floyd Mayweather, he's like, you know, I got this tattoo from that time I got your hat. Listen to Logan, though. Logan's taking the serious route on all this.
How motivated does this get you for the fight? We know there's going to be tons of...
And what are they, like, these like, journalists? Like, this has to be a fake wrestling press conference. Like, the idea that you're a sports journalist and Jake Paul stole Floyd Mayweather's hat, and you're going to Logan Paul. How motivated for the fight does this get you? It's money. Just with it's money. Money. What about it's the money. It's the money is what it's about. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul's on the fight anyway, but now there seems like that just happened. Are you even more amped up to get in there with Floyd?
Fuck yeah, bro. That shit just got personal. By default. You know? It was supposed to be like a cute little press conference. Come together, get people excited for the fight. Now people are talking about killing people. What the fuck?
What's your message, Logan? We'll leave it here. Message to Floyd and message to all the fans that why they got to tune in to see you guys do your thing next month.
Yeah, because it's going to be the craziest fucking event to ever take place in the history of combat sports. My message to Floyd is this. We're going to get you that hat back, Floyd.
Ooh. He's basically, you know, kind of, I guess he wants people to believe that he's now going to kill Floyd Mayweather on some level. He's going to kill Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather said he was going to kill his brother, which I don't think Logan Paul is going to win the boxing match between him and the greatest boxer alive. Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
You know?
Who knows? That's the thing. Who knows? Anything can happen in sports entertainment, right?
Yeah, and you know what? There's a story now. We didn't have a story leading up to this. Now we got a story.
I mean, yeah.
All you needed was one press conference.
How great is that? Now I could do the commentary for this fight. I could do the commentary. We see the look of intensity on the face of Floyd Money Mayweather as he makes his way to the ring. This is not just about the career of Floyd Mayweather. This is not just about the legacy. This is about the man's hat.
Snoop, that's you.
Yeah, he's like, man, you know, one time somebody took my hat. Like, okay, Snoop. Yeah. This is what's it now? This is like, what's it? It's not a professional. It's not technically a fight. It's a exhibition. You know, on the card it says this is an exhibition fight, but I have never seen a man's brother take another man's hat and have the fight described as anything near an exhibition. I think we're going to come to fisticuffs in a hurry. What do you say, Snoop?
This isn't an exhibition. This is a non-sanctioned match now.
Yeah. The card says exhibition, but Logan Paul says execution. Take it away, Snoop.
Oh.
You kidding me? You kidding me? I don't know why I don't have a headset on in any of the. I mean, I'll bring the fire, okay? That's the story.
And now here's Justin Bieber.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm sitting here going like, 2 men are entering this ring. This is no longer about careers. This is about lives. One of these 2 men physically may never be the same again. Take it away, Diplo. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm definitely buying it. I don't care how much it is. I don't care.
You
Probably
got that Doge money.
I gotta invest in Doge so I can make sure that I can afford the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. It's gonna be the greatest boxing match I've ever seen, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And I've seen 3, so I know.
Well, yeah, I mean, are you counting all the Triller fights? Because I've seen a lot of boxing Triller fights. I've seen the one with the...
Oh, yeah. I'm a diehard.
Yeah, the guy with the pink shorts. I've seen him. I've seen both Jake Paul fights.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. So I'm very familiar. That's the other thing. I could get in the commentary booth for this fight because I watched Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. And I watched the 2 Jake Paul fights, and his brother is Logan. And I've seen Logan's podcast. So... You know, I know this backstory is what I'm saying. I know the experience.
Get booked, bro. You got to hit somebody up. You know.
Yeah.
Book me, bro.
And they're going to go, Sam, why didn't you go to the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul pay-per-view? I'm going to go, well, for one thing, I wasn't booked. Because I wasn't booked. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be, yeah. And you know what's so awesome about it? It doesn't even have to be a good fight. Just the fact that it's happening is awesome to me. Just the fact that this is where we're at. Like, if it could end in 1 round, it could be a schmoz, it could be whatever. There could be Jake Paul could do a run-in and, like, disqualify people because of interference. And I'd still be like, just the fact that this exists is great. I love that there are shows out there that people will pay for, and then they'll complain about the fact that they paid for it. And then they'll pay for the next one. It's like, it's the greatest thing in the world to me. It's the greatest trick that I've ever been privy to see. I love it. I love it so, so much.